China welcomes Vietnam to become a BRICS partner country. Vietnam's engagement in BRICS cooperation is conducive to the country's own development and is also in the common interest of BRICS countries and the Global South. We believe the Vietnamese side will contribute much to the BRICS mechanism.
The announcement came in mid-June 2025, and it marked a moment that could redefine Vietnam's role on the global stage. Brazil, holding the rotating chair of BRICS this year, formally named Vietnam the bloc's 10th partner country, placing it alongside Malaysia, Thailand, and other strategic economies already connected to one of the world's most influential alliances. The move wasn't simply ceremonial, it was a calculated step. The evolving power of BRICS. To understand the weight of Vietnam's inclusion, it's important to see how BRICS itself has evolved. The group began in 2009 as a coalition of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. South Africa joined a year later, and in the years since, membership has expanded, making it a bloc of 11 influential emerging economies. The idea has always been to offer a counterweight to traditional Western-led forums, building an alternative platform where the Global South could coordinate on trade, finance, and development without depending entirely on the US dollar or Western institutions. In 2024, during the summit in Kazan, Russia, BRICS introduced the concept of partner countries. This flexible arrangement allows non-member states to engage with BRICS initiatives, attend high-level meetings, and even shape policy discussions without the full obligations of membership. It's a strategic tool, a way to draw in more nations, expand influence, and create broader cooperation without diluting the bloc's core membership. Before Vietnam joined, partners included Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. Why Vietnam was invited to the table? Brazil's statement announcing the partnership praised Vietnam as a relevant participant in Asia and a country committed to supporting South-South cooperation and sustainable development. This wasn't flattery. With a population of nearly 100 million, a track record of strong GDP growth, and a central role in global manufacturing supply chains, Vietnam brings both economic muscle and diplomatic credibility to the table. Vietnam's economy has been one of the fastest growing in Asia over the last decade, supported by investor-friendly policies, macroeconomic stability, and integration into high-value trade agreements. From electronics and semiconductors to renewable energy and textiles, Vietnam's industrial base is diverse and globally connected. For BRICS, having a Southeast Asian partner with these capabilities strengthens the bloc's presence in a region critical to future trade routes and geopolitical balance. Diplomatic leverage without the trade-offs. One of the most strategic aspects of Vietnam's decision is that it joins BRICS as a partner, not a full member. This gives Hanoi access to the bloc's platforms, financing tools, and policy discussions, while maintaining flexibility in its relationships with the United States, the European Union, Japan, and other major players. It's an approach consistent with Vietnam's bamboo diplomacy, flexible, resilient, and deeply rooted in the principle of independence.
The world is shifting beneath our feet, a constant dance of alliances and realignments. And in this intricate global ballet, Vietnam has just made a move that's turning heads everywhere, prompting discussions in capitals around the world. It's officially joining the BRICS bloc, a significant step onto the world stage.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has repeatedly stressed Vietnam's commitment to multilateralism and a rules-based international order. By holding a position in both BRICS and Western-linked trade and political frameworks, Vietnam ensures it remains relevant and influential no matter which direction the global economy tilts. Economic doors opening. The practical opportunities from this partnership are significant. Vietnam will have regular access to BRICS summits, ministerial meetings, and high-level economic forums. Even more importantly, it gains potential entry to financing from the new development bank, which focuses on funding infrastructure and sustainable development in emerging markets. For Vietnam, that could mean new streams of capital for its most ambitious projects, modernizing transport networks, expanding smart cities, and building next-generation energy infrastructure. The country has already set ambitious targets up to $120 billion in transport investment by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2050. NDB funding combined with technology transfers and joint ventures from BRICS members could accelerate those timelines dramatically. Strategic sectors for collaboration. The partnership is expected to generate momentum in several key sectors. Infrastructure is an obvious one, with BRICS nations like China and India bringing decades of experience in high-speed rail, port development, and urban planning. Vietnam's rapid urbanization and growing logistics needs make this a natural area for collaboration. Green energy is another priority. Vietnam has already become one of Southeast Asia's leaders in solar and wind capacity, and its long-term commitment to carbon reduction creates demand for advanced renewable technologies, energy storage systems, and smart grid solutions, fields where BRICS members can contribute expertise and investment. Then there's technology and innovation. Vietnam's digital economy was valued at $23 billion in 2022 and is projected to hit $50 billion by 2025. Areas like fintech, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity are ripe for collaboration, especially with tech-heavy economies like China, India, and Russia. Tourism and cultural exchange also fit into this expanding network. Vietnam and BRICS countries are already discussing streamlined visa processes, cultural programs, and educational partnerships. Russia, for example, has increased scholarships for Southeast Asian students, while Vietnam is expanding technical training programs that could benefit from joint BRICS participation. ASEAN context and regional shifts. Vietnam's move is part of a broader pattern within ASEAN. Indonesia is already a full BRICS member, and Malaysia and Thailand are partners. The trend suggests that Southeast Asia's major economies see value in engaging with alternative governance structures beyond the Western-led order.
Leaders of the BRICS bloc of emerging economies are meeting in Rio de Janeiro. Top of the agenda are Donald Trump's trade tariffs and the risks to the world economy. The BRICS nations include just over half the world's population and 40% of global economic output. While the summit is aiming for unity, some of the biggest players have stayed away.
00 to 400. The attraction isn't purely economic, though. Access to new markets and investment is a big draw. BRICS membership or partnership also enhances a country's diplomatic influence and global profile. Still, there are limits. Some ASEAN nations, particularly those with strong security ties to the US, may be cautious about deepening ties with BRICS. The Philippines, for instance, remains a formal treaty ally of Washington, hosting US military assets and conducting regular joint exercises. For countries in such positions, aligning too closely with BRICS could carry political costs. Vietnam's symbolic role in the global South. Beyond the trade deals and policy meetings, Vietnam's inclusion carries a symbolic weight. Its history of anti-colonial struggle and post-war recovery makes it a powerful example for other developing nations seeking a path to prosperity without full dependence on Western financial systems or institutions like the International Monetary Fund. Vietnam stands as proof that a country can achieve economic transformation through market reforms while maintaining political sovereignty. That narrative fits perfectly into BRICS' vision of a multipolar world where development models aren't dictated by any single power. The geographic advantage. Vietnam's location makes it a strategic economic bridge in the Asia-Pacific, sitting at the crossroads of vital trade routes linking East Asia, South Asia, and the Pacific. This position allows it to connect BRICS initiatives with other major frameworks like China's Belt and Road Initiative and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Such connectivity could become even more valuable if BRICS expands its financial cooperation programs, particularly efforts to reduce reliance on the US dollar in international settlements, maintaining balance in a competitive era. The global context for Vietnam's decision is one of intensifying competition between the US and China, alongside a broader reconfiguration of alliances. BRICS' growing influence comes at a time when many nations in the global South are looking for ways to diversify their economic and diplomatic ties. For Vietnam, joining as a partner is a way to gain influence and resources without taking sides in the most divisive geopolitical rivalries. Hanoi's participation in BRICS does not diminish its involvement in other major economic agreements. The country remains an active member of the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. This overlapping membership strategy ensures Vietnam stays connected to both Western and non-Western economic centers, looking toward 2030 and beyond. Vietnam's stated development goals are ambitious: to become an industrialized, upper-middle-income country by 2030 and a high-income nation by 2045. Achieving these targets will require significant capital, technology, and market access areas where BRICS can be a valuable partner. Through the new development bank and other cooperative mechanisms, Vietnam can finance large-scale projects without relying solely on traditional lenders. Collaboration with BRICS members could also enhance its technological capabilities, agricultural productivity, and energy security. A calculated move in a changing world. In essence, Vietnam's partnership with BRICS is not about replacing one set of alliances with another. It's about expanding its network of influence, securing new channels of investment, and ensuring it remains an active voice in shaping the rules of global trade and governance. It's a move rooted in confidence, strategic vision, and a clear-eyed assessment of where the world is heading. As BRICS' influence continues to grow, Vietnam's position within it will be closely watched, not just in Asia, but in capitals around the world. The partnership embodies both ambition and restraint, signaling that Hanoi intends to chart its own path while building bridges across the most dynamic parts of the global economy. What remains to be seen is how this relationship will translate into tangible outcomes over the next decade. Will it mean accelerated infrastructure development, greater regional influence, or new trade corridors linking Southeast Asia to Africa and Latin America? Those answers will unfold in the years to come. Let us know your thoughts. Does Vietnam's entry into BRICS signal a new era for Southeast Asia's role in global politics? Or is it just one more step in a long game of balancing global power?